This is Module 1 entitled Introducing Today's Technologies, Computers, Devices, and the Web. This is under the Cengage ebook entitled Discovering Computers, the Digital Technology, Data, and Devices. In this module, as you go along with all the learning activities, uh, you will be able to differentiate among laptops, tablets, desktops, and servers. You'll be able to describe the purpose and uses of smartphones, digital cameras, portable and digital media players, e-book readers, wearable devices, and game devices. Be able to describe the relationship between data and information, and briefly explain various input options. Also, you'll be able to differentiate the web from the internet and describe the relationship among the web pages, websites, and web servers. Also, be able to explain the purpose of a browser, a search engine, and an online social network. Be able to briefly describe digital security risks associated with viruses and other malware, privacy, your health, and the environment, and differentiate between an operating system and applications. Also differentiate between wired and wireless technologies, identify reasons individual and businesses use networks, also discuss how society uses technology in education, government, finance, retail entertainment, healthcare, science, travel, publishing, and manufacturing, and identify technology used by home users, small home users, or mobile, power, and enterprise users. Let us first define what is a computer. And according to the book Discovering Computers, a computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory. For sure, at this point, you have your computers at home. To think that we are in this online setup, very important, you have a computer. Very important also to know the different parts, like, say, for a desktop type of a computer, we have monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, the system unit, and also those different parts we have in the system unit. I have here a list, a definition of different components we have in a computer. One very important component is the keyboard. By definition, keyboard contains keys when you press to enter data and instructions into a computer or mobile devices. We also have a component in our computer we call as a pointing device. This is an input device which allows a user to control a small symbol on a screen, which we call a pointer. And some mobile devices are also known as or tagged as computers, um, and it enables you to speak data instructions using voice input and can capture live full motion images using video input. And then I have here a definition of an output device. And an output device in a computer components is we define it as a hardware component that conveys information from a computer or mobile device to one or more people. One popular example of an output device in a computer system is the printer. A printer is an output device that produces text and graphics on a physical medium like a paper or other material. There are different types of printer as you go along with the different learning activities posted in your Blackboard. You'll be able to explore different types of printers and output devices, so as um, discussions of different input devices and storage devices. Then we have also memory. By definition, these are the component in a computer system that stores instructions waiting to be executed and the data needed by those instructions. There are different memory we have in our computer system. There is the RAM, which we um, call as a random access memory. We also have ROM, also known as, which stands for read-only memory, and we have our storage devices. A computer keeps data, instructions, and information on the storage media. And a storage device, it records or retrieves items to and from storage media. I suppose we are familiar with the internet. No? We've been using it, very useful, especially nowadays. And very important for us to really have a specific know as the specific definition of the terms, especially in the field of IT. And when we talk about internet, we talk about connections or global connections of our devices, our phones or laptops or tablets or desktops. That is the keyword for the internet. Again, it's a connection or a computer network which connects millions, or I can even say billions of devices, whether if it's for business or purpose of, or if it's a government agency or for like us, educational institution, or for personal uh, purpose. And then we have this term we call as World Wide Web. Us humans, we live in a place we call as Earth. When we go to the browser and type yahoo.com or google.com or facebook.com, these websites, the place where they are located, we call it as World Wide Web. That's how it is. So in the World Wide Web, www, this is where we have our collection of information which are presented in a form of what we call as a website. These websites are stored in a special type of a computer set up to act as a web server. So in a web server, these are the one that delivers requested pages to your computer or mobile devices. And again, by definition, a web consists of worldwide collection of electronic documents, each of which is called a web page. And for us to be able to again see those websites, where computers should have this software we call as a browser. Again, by definition, a browser or a web browser is the software we use in order for us to access and view websites that contains web pages that has those informations that are very useful to us. Um, there are different types of browsers, and very important for us to be well aware of those browsers that we have, okay, in the market, like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Safari or Firefox. And very important also, especially in the field of IT, that we are familiar with the different features that are there in these different types of browsers. And then a search engine is a software that finds websites or web pages, images, videos, news, maps, and other information related to a specific topic. Suppose we are familiar with um, the popular search engine we call as Google. Okay, at this point, also very important that um, those um, those items or say elements that we can search using Google, like a text or even images, or even by it has even categories if you want to search specific book or an image, or especially now IT is also into research, be able to search those published researches or articles. And there are more discussions on this, about the web, about this search engine in the Cengage. If you were to continue reading, if you were to read the module 1 in the Cengage platform, Cengage ebook platform. Online social networking site, one popular is the Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So this is a website that encourages members in its online community to share their interests, ideas, stories, photos, music, and videos to other registered users. And then also have software, also known as program. There are actually uh, one popular type of a software is we call as a system software or operating system, and inside of which there are specific tools or default tools. And I hope you are to work on with the other learning activities posted. And as you go along and finish all those activities, you should be able to know the basic computer concepts, know the various methods for input, output, memory, and storage, have an in-depth understanding of the internet benefits and structure, um, have a knowledge on digital security and safety risks and precautions, and the use of technology applications in society. And this ends my discussion, and I'd like to thank you for taking time to listen to this video presentation.